This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2018 Aerolite model 2133 RB. Okay, I'm on the door side of the trailer, walking towards the rear. Okay, now as you can see, you've got an outside kitchen. You slide out appliances. We're still cleaning your trailer, so it looks a little dirty, but that's just because we're still working on it. Keep in mind that, let's see here, let me get down here on my, lower to the ground here. This does have a quick connector right here for your LP connection right here, so it's a quick connect, and this has to be plugged in, so there'll be a hose for it to plug in your range top down here with that quick connect coupler. Alright, also you got a refrigerator. Just works on 110 AC, it's cold, so that's nice. You also have the self-leveling system by Lippert. You can just go ahead and work around me. Self-leveling system by Lippert, and the controls are up in the front compartment on the off-door side. I'll show you that in a minute when we get over there. Also, you have a TV mount and antenna out and power for a TV. This is the range hood vent for your range hood. If you're going to run the fan in the range hood, you can see you can pull this baffle. Let me see if I can get a picture over here. This baffle away so it flaps freely. Otherwise, you just want to keep it in place if you're not venting. You got power awning, outside speakers. This is your water heater. Now it's ready to be camped in. Make sure that let me see here, I'm getting ahead of myself. The switches to operate it are both inside the trailer, so just keep in mind this is how you drain it right here. Alright, if you can see that. But to operate it, the switches are inside. I'll show you those when I get in there. Alright, so let's see what we got here. These are cranks. This is a override crank. This is the controls for your touchscreen control panel, just so you know what that is. You got 2 LP tanks, deep cycle marine battery, and this right here is a battery disconnect switch right here, just so you know. So when you put it in storage, you can disconnect it. Alright, so this over here, this is the control panel for the self-leveling system. So basically you're going to have to read the sticker below. It has all the directions, but I'll go through it with you to give you an idea how it works here. So you turn it on there, off source. You can see it says ready, and then it tells you there's 13.9 volts. I don't know if you can read that right there. Yes. Keep in mind it does that because you have to have a fully charged battery. You have to have full voltage in order to run the leveling system. So that's why they put it there, so you can always check to make sure. I mean, under normal circumstances, you'll always have that because your tow vehicle charges the battery, and when you're plugged in, your power converter charges the battery, so you should always be in good shape. You can also self-level right here, auto level, but you can also scroll through, go to auto hitch height. Auto hitch height retracts the stabilizers, and it will return the front end to the last hitch height that you had hooked up. So it always remembers the height the last time it was leveled, so you should be pretty darn close to just being able to pull underneath underneath the receiver with the ball and hooking it up, and off you go. So that's a good feature. Plus you can go scroll a little farther and you can do it manually. Alright, and to retract, of course, you do it like this. When you auto level, it takes a while to do it yourself. Let me see where we're at here. So here it's going now. You can probably hear it. I just want to show you. I'll leave it level while we're walking around, just so it's running through. But right now it's retracting the tongue. It's telling us, if you can read that output there. So it retracts the tongue first, so you don't. When it's raising the rear end, obviously, if it didn't retract the tongue up front, it could bend it. So that's all it's doing is doing it. Anyway, I'll just add a little bit here. It'll tell you that it's, if you're watching this little readout, it'll say grounding front right now, and then it'll say it's analyzing, and then it'll tell you again what it's doing, and then analyzing some more. It'll just go through the procedure till it's leveled. Okay. All right. We'll keep an eye on that. You can see that your landing or your stabilizers are going down, all automatically. Okay, so this is the service panel for your refrigerator. You want to remember that this hose should always be hanging out here. That's just for condensation. This is your cord, obviously, 30 feet long and 30 amp. This is just coax, like a campground cable through to the entertainment area. All right, let me just walk around a little farther so I can see everything we've got here, so I can give you an accurate report here. Okay, so I'll just start right here in the back about the water system. The most common way to hook up your water is the city water connection. So you're just going to hook your hose on there, and you turn it on and you're ready to go. Now if you go to a campground that does not have city water on the campsite, it doesn't have any plumbing at all, you can pre-fill the tank. So all I have to do is find it and we'll be all set here. So that's over here by the door. So let's say your campground you're at does not have plumbing on the campsite. So you'd have to pre-fill this tank ahead of time. This is your onboard fresh water tank, and this is the fill. So you would put the hose in here, fill it up, and then you can use your onboard pump to pump the water. So even though you don't have city water, the trailer will function just like it does. All right. This is the black tank flush here. I'll show you what that does. You come over here to your dump area. All right, so you have a dump valve here, then you have a gray dump valve here, and another gray dump valve here, which is probably a second gray one. Let me see here. Yeah. So you have two grays. You have this gray here, which is actually probably called a galley tank, which is your kitchen sink tank, and then you have the second gray tank here, which is in the bathroom, which is actually for sink and shower water. Then you have the black, which is right here. Let me just make sure it's closed. It's right there, if you can see it. Okay, that's the black tank, which is toilet water and waste. So that's the dirtiest of the water. So when you hook your hose up to this one, you would pull the black one first and dump it. Then after it's dumped, you would pull this one and dump the gray, because the gray is cleaner water than the black water is, so it just cleans out even better. But with the black tank, if you left it open like this, you can come back here. This is after you've dumped it, of course. You come back here, and you hook your hose from the dump station right to your black tank flush here, and turn it on. It'll spray the inside of your black tank and clean it out really well. Clean off the sensor so you get a good accurate reading from your the sensors in your tank, so you get a good accurate reading on your monitor panel, that sort of thing. So it's good to flush your tank. Okay, so you can see the housing up there tells us that this is pre-wired for a backup camera. That's all it's telling us. Make sure you get the correct camera that fits in that housing if you get one. It's a Furion camera and it has to fit that housing. Okay. Also, while we're looking up, I have to tell you that all trailers have to be inspected 3 times a season. So figure in the spring and then in the fall and once in the middle of the summer, you're going to go up on the roof or have somebody go up there. Look at all the sealant on the roof. Make sure it's good and tight. No separation or cracking, anything like that. You're just going to inspect it. And sometime you're going to see that there is some separation. And when you see that, you have to get it taken care of, okay? It's very important. Okay, so let's move inside here. Excuse me, Amanda. Okay, so this is your control panel here. It's a touch screen, so you turn it on here. There are some functions like the water pump, the water heater, and the lights you can operate without punching the passcode. This passcode uses 1234 as a temporary code, so let's see if we can unlock it. There you have it. So you can see that your fresh water tank has got a little bit of water in it. We're still testing it. Black tank is empty, your gray tank is empty, and your gray tank number 2, which is your sink here, the galley tank, is empty. Obviously those dots will get solid as it fills, all right? It also gives you your battery voltage up in the corner there. Your security lights are on, your awning light is off, but I can turn it on right there. You can see it's on right now. I hope I'm getting a good view of it because I tell you, I'm having a hard time seeing the monitor here. But anyway, you can scroll this up. I hope. There we go. your dinette slide in and out here. So you're going to go, I'll just come in a little bit like that, then you can go out with it. Very simple. Your awning, same thing. I'll come in a little bit with it. Go out with it. So it goes out 8 feet, and when you get all the way out, you can actually see the awning tube, so you know you're already out, all the way out. The thing is, never leave it out unattended. So if you're not going to be at the campsite, always roll it in, because you don't want to get damaged by the wind and weather. It can happen very quickly, so if you're not at the campsite, roll it in. If you want to use your onboard water pump that I told you about, because you're using onboard water, right there. Your water heater, you can see you can run it on gas, electric, or both, right? So you got those options. So always make sure there's water in the water heater tank before you turn it on. That's important. You can't run it dry or else it'll damage it. Alright, so you got a bifold cover here. Alright, so to light this, you're just going to spark it. So you're going to go to light, spark it, and the light's just like that. You turn your sparker clockwise. To light the oven, it's a little bit different. Let me see which one you've got here by looking down here. Let's check it out. So this one you have to light with a lighter, a grill lighter. So basically back here, all the way to the back is a pilot light. What you'll do is you'll come up here to the awning knob. You'll go to pilot. Hopefully you can see that right there. Pilot. And then you depress it and hold it in. While you're holding it in, you're going to spark the pilot light back there with your lighter. And you're going to, after it lights, you're going to still be holding this in. And you hold it for another 10 seconds or so. Go to your operating temperature, whatever you want. It'll cycle on and off like an oven does. But when you go off, obviously the flame goes off, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay, and always make sure you bring your cover down before traveling, because it tends to crack if you leave it open. Okay, the microwave works like any other microwave. That's your range hood that I told you about. Remember, you have the baffle outside. Your TV works like any other TV. You have a sound system here. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly. It has HDMI in the back. It also has a USB you can stream off of. You can, to access the back, you can pull these corner caps off and unscrew it if you want to patch it from behind. It's up to you. Alright. Different speaker zones inside and outside the trailer, so it does pretty much everything you need. Also, you have a, this device here is the power converter. It converts 110 AC over to 12 volt DC. So you can see you got regular 112 AC here, or 110 AC, with your regular household type circuit breakers, and you can see they're all labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here, and they're all labeled. All these fuses are labeled. If any of these fuses were to blow, you'll actually see them light up here, and you'll see it glowing through the tinted plastic there. Also, this is, as long as you're plugged into shore power, this is a battery charger. It'll always keep your battery charged. Alright. So this is a propane gas detector here. So it should always be green like it is. If it goes off, basically you're going to take everybody outside, shut the gas off at the front, and figure out what's going on. But it should always be green otherwise. If not, you get it serviced. Alright. All the plugs are wired through a GFCI, so keep in mind you'll reset it here, no matter which plug it is. The sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. Always run the fan vent when you're using the shower to pull the humidity out. Now with the toilet, the thing to remember is, first of all, you have a flush pedal here. You can see that. You never use it dry or without chemicals. So when you get to the campsite, you hook up your water and your power. Then you'll come in here and you'll dump the chemical right in here, whichever brand you use. You'll put one dose in. Then you'll step on the pedal and you'll just stand on it until you put about a gallon of water in the tank. The black tank is directly below. So you just stand on it for a few minutes till you get about a gallon or two. You can put 2 if you want. The bottom line is you don't have to be exact. You just have to make sure you have chemical and a little bit of water in there to get started. Each time you're starting off with a black tank, empty, okay? Alright. This is a gas absorption refrigerator. So therefore it'll work on 110 AC or LP gas.
So it turns on right like that. Right there it's on gas, but we'll put it on auto. Let me see if you can see that there. So auto means electric. The reason they call it auto is because it automatically searches out electricity. If it can't find it, it'll automatically switch over to gas. Let's say you're in the middle of the day and you're out adventuring somewhere and you have a power failure at the campground, it'll automatically switch over to gas so you don't spoil your food. So keep that in mind. You can pull this down the road on gas if you want to. It's perfectly acceptable. Also, to set the temperature, you'll see there's a sticker here that says cold and warm, cold being up. You're just going to slide this up as high as it goes. It's called a thermistor. That's about as high as you want to go with it, and that's the higher you go with it, the colder the refrigerator gets inside. Okay, so your thermostat, you just touch it once to light it up, then you go through the auto, fan, air conditioner, and heat. Let me go back to AC. You're basically, there's about a 5 to 10 second lag time, a delay every time you choose a source. So you choose it and then you wait a little bit. It doesn't switch instantly, but it will switch. Alright. The table, you can drop the poles, take them out and drop the tabletop down onto the cleats down here and fill in the space with the cushions and make that into a bed if you need to. Plus, of course, you have your bed. You also have storage underneath. Alright, this is your TV antenna. It does not go up and down, you just rotate it to tune things in. Alright. I think that covers it. Let me look around and make sure I didn't forget anything. I don't think I did. You have a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector on the ceiling. We'll make sure that there's batteries in there before you leave. Okay. And last but not least, this is your escape window. Basically, it's simple. You're just going to pull this out here. Let me see if I got a picture of it. Pull out. You're going to push that all the way through. Then you grab a hold of the grab tab on the screen and pull out the screen, and you can go out the window in an emergency. All right? Okay. Well, thank you very much for purchasing your trailer at National RV Detroit. Remember what I told you about inspecting the roof. You have to inspect your roof, and also this trailer has to be winterized because it has plumbing, so you have to winterize in the fall. Keep that in mind. Okay? Thank you very much for purchasing your trailer from National RV Detroit, and make sure you do a lot of camping with it. It's very important. Thank you.